Yes, yes, yes. GoPro finally absolutely destroyed numbers, guys. They absolutely killed what I was expecting, what analysts were expecting. Remember, when I did my video a few days ago and I was talking about, what I was expecting for GoPro numbers on 4 stocks I'm buying, the August video that came out 2 or 3 days ago. I was expecting probably like 273 million to 277 million. They absolutely killed my numbers. And analysts were expecting 269, guys. We got to look into this. We got to decide, all this information. We got to look at all this together. And then I got to hop off and get on the conference call because the conference call is starting in like 30 minutes from me recording this right now, guys. So let's look at these numbers here. Revenue up 34% year over year. Positive adjusted EBITDA. Right off the bat, like I just said that, guys, that is way better than I was expecting, way better than analysts were expecting right off the bat there. Camera sell-through up 18% sequentially. So that's a really good sign because what that means is cameras that are in stores selling through. So you could just sell, say, I got my book here, right? And I go down to a local bookstore and I'm like, hey, will you buy 100 of my books, right? They could buy 100 of those books and technically I sold 100 books, but who knows, those might just sit on the shelf. That's not the best sign. The best sign is if I sell those books to them and then all 100 books sell off the shelf at the bookstore. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about camera sell-through. These are cameras that were on the shelves or in these retail or on Amazon or whatever and got sold through, and that was up 18%. So that is phenomenal news there, guys, because that's the real indicator of super strong demand. You could just sell through because some guy at some retail store, right, and he wants to hook you up, and so you sell into that. But it's a lot bigger deal when those are actually on the shelf and consumers are going in and buying those with money, guys. That is a big positive there. Hero 6 and Fusion cameras are on track for 2017. That's great news there. The Fusion camera is their new spherical camera that's going to do 360 video, and it has a potential to be a market leader in the 360 space. So that's going to be huge. Hero 6 is going to be, every camera launch from GoPro is huge, right? So Hero 6 launching this year, that's going to be huge, and both of them are on track to launch in 2017. That is phenomenal news there. Karma is the #2 best-selling drone brand in the United States, right? That's phenomenal news. And so many people, would come at me in the comments and be like, oh, well, Mavic's better, so Karma's, irrelevant or whatever. I'm like, dude, if Karma can be #2, if Karma can be the #2 best-selling drone, that's a huge win. You don't understand how big these categories are. Something like drones. Imagine being the #2 best-selling smartphone. Imagine how much revenue and profits that would be. It would be billions of dollars, right? Imagine being even the #5. So if you're #2 in drones, that's still a huge category that's growing super fast, and that's a lot of money coming in, guys. And so that's what I've always talked about with GoPro. I've always said, GoPro doesn't have to be #1. GoPro doesn't have to beat DJI. They can just be #2. That's going to be huge for GoPro's business. That is going to be literally a game changer, and it absolutely has been. Quick Stories positions GoPro as a powerful extension of the smartphone. Absolutely. If you haven't played around with the software called Quick Stories, it's a phenomenal software editing system that can basically take all your pictures and put them into nice videos and all those kinds of things, and it's real easy to share on Facebook, Instagram, and all these different platforms. You can save it. You can share it on Snapchat. It knows the best moments, or say you took a bunch of video of a hiking trip. Somehow, I don't know how the software knows, oh, this is a really important moment. This was a good moment, and combines them together for literally a seamless edit. So it's pretty awesome software if you have not checked that out, guys. So let's go on and see what Mr. Woodman here had to say. So Woodman says, GoPro is building momentum, obviously in the numbers there, said founder and CEO Nicholas Woodman. Strong demand combined with our cost management and margin initiatives contributed to GoPro's EBITDA positive performance for the second quarter. Hero 6 and Fusion our 5.2K spherical camera and are on course to launch later this year, which we continue to track toward our goal of full year non-GAAP profitability in 2017. That's big. To be non-GAAP profitable in 2017, that's huge, guys. And I absolutely believe GoPro will definitely be GAAP profitable in 2018, guys. So everything is exactly how I expected, but better than I expected. So that's really good news. Quick Stories launched on July 27th. We just talked about about that. Second quarter revenue was $297 million, up 34% year on year and 36% quarter on quarter. Adjusted EBITDA was $5.1 million. That's phenomenal. Sharp focus on inventories and channel management resulted in 39% reduction in inventory quarter over quarter. Forward weeks of supply chain in the channel is down 25%. Both position us well for upcoming product launches. Basically, GoPro's business, the business which is, managing inventory and supply and all this stuff, that's just being run a hell of a lot better than it was in the past. And it's amazing sometimes what happens. GoPro cut off massive amounts of employees over the last year. We know this, right? And people said, oh, that's going to make the business worse. And I said, no, this will actually make the business be run better. Because what you have is you have a lot of employees passing off the buck to each other, saying, oh, that's not my problem. You deal with that. You deal with that. When you have less employees, sometimes less is more, honestly, guys, because then the buck stops with somebody. The buck stops with somebody, and if something's not being taken care of, it's directly on a person. It's not on 10 different people, and it's like, oh, this group, and then, it's like, oh, we somehow missed that or something. Now a smaller corporation is sometimes more focused, more laser focused, and run much better because this person's in charge of this exact thing here, and if it's not taken care of, it's their ass. It's not like, oh, maybe this guy's ass, but maybe this chick's ass or whoever, guys. But much better run company now. Absolutely, the numbers are proof in the pudding. Global sell-through of cameras increased 18% sequentially. Additional camera sell-through was above $300, was up 13%. That's phenomenal. So average selling price for the cameras was up, including 7% EMA, 194% in Japan. Hero 5 Black was the best-selling digital image camera in the United States in the second quarter, according to the NPD Group's retail tracking service. So what else can you say? The best-selling digital imaging camera in the whole United States, awesome. Anybody that says, GoPro, why would you buy a GoPro? A lot of different use cases versus a smartphone. I'm not strapping my smartphone to go surfing or go mountain biking or going hiking or doing all these different things or putting it on a drone. There's a million different things that you would use a GoPro for that you would never use your smartphone for in a million years, guys. Next up here, let's look at this. More than 50% of GoPro's revenue was generated in markets outside of the United States. So that's phenomenal news. That's a company that's growing very well outside of the United States. Demand for GoPro was high on Amazon Prime Day, which was July 11th, so a little less than a month ago. A Hero Session bundle sold more than 10 times the weekly run rate. Hero 5 Black was offered with no discount and moved the equivalent of a full week on normal sale through for just one day, guys, and they didn't even discount it. They didn't even discount the camera, and it sold more in a day than it does usually in a week. That is phenomenal news. The quick mobile video editing app was installed 5.6 million times. That is really great news. GoPro gained 1.6 million new social media followers in the second quarter. Instagram followers were up 39% year over year to 13.7 million. International followers were up 94%. And this is just phenomenal news, guys, all around there. The social media platforms are so big, and GoPro's one of the very few companies that really understands about building brand on social media. And that's one of the ways GoPro has honestly built the business is through social media. It's just something they really understand. YouTube, they really understand Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. They understand all these different types of platforms, Twitter, and how you can gain followers on those platforms and then sell products when you come out with products on that. It's big time, guys. Now let's go ahead and next up, let's look at the numbers here. So we already talked about the revenue, so no need to go over that again. That's ridiculous growth. From 220 million last year to 296 is awesome growth there. The thing I was most impressed with was the net loss came in so much less. On a non-GAAP basis, they lost about almost $13 million, right? But that's comparing last year to $72 million they lost in the same quarter. So the trend is going in the right direction, guys. When you go from losing, $72 million in a quarter to now you're only losing 12.9. And, by this time next year, they should be full profitable, across the board. That is big time. And then the guidance was really strong here. So they guided for revenue of 300 million plus or minus 10 million, guys. That's really strong revenue growth there, when analysts were expecting around 278 million for next quarter, guys. So phenomenal news across the board for GoPro. Way better than I expected, which I love when my expectations are exceeded. And I think Woodman's finally understanding the game of Wall Street, which is a different type of game you got to play, which is really more about under-promising and over-delivering, which is opposite of what he did for, the last, year and a half, where he would overpromise and then underdeliver, which gets you in a real nasty streak with Wall Street. Now, as far as the stock price, let's talk about the stock price. It could absolutely move up over the next few weeks and have a nice move up. But the big thing for now is this is 3 straight quarters where the company is showing great growth, double-digit plus growth, right? Now we got great guidance again. So it's obviously a growth company. There's no doubt about that. It's a strong growth company, a strong double-digit growth company right now, GoPro is. So what we're looking at here is now a company that I think will start attracting some hedge fund managers who are like, can't really bypass this one anymore because it's like, oh, this is a strong growing company. I need to start putting some money in this. This will still, I don't believe GoPro will start attracting more of the conservative investment managers. I don't believe they'll start attracting the mutual fund managers yet. I don't believe they'll start attracting those type of people yet. Those other, huge sums of money out there, because they're not profitable yet. And a lot of those ones only like to get into profitable companies. So as 2018 rolls on and we get into 2018, if GoPro can prove it's profitable on a non-GAAP and GAAP basis, I believe all of a sudden those mutual fund managers, those more conservative investment managers, will start to funnel money into GoPro slowly but surely. But as far as now, I see, as far as moving up, could be a short squeeze in the short term, things like that, short sellers getting out. Some short sellers will probably go long GoPro because the trend's obviously changing and things like that. And other little money can come into, more investment people that might take a little bigger risk with a company like GoPro. And like I said, some hedge fund managers that kind of see this double-digit growth and they're a little more aggressive type investors. They'll see a GoPro and be like, I need to get in this one now when it's $9 a share or whatever it will be tomorrow, rather than get in it at 12 or 14 or something like that, guys. So really phenomenal news across the board. I can't wait to see how all this plays out, especially as we go into September when the products are launched. Very excited across the board. I freaking love when a company beats what big time beats, like way beats what I'm expecting from the company. So great news across the board. Let's just hope this trend keeps going. They're moving up in the right way, and I love to see, especially, it's like, it's just, I think it's even more meaningful to me because of how much I've gone through with this stock. And anybody that watches the channel, how much I've gone through with this stock and just been, down 30% and this and that and just a disaster. So the pain I felt, and when you finally get that good feeling, guys, it's special. I definitely have some good juices flowing through me right now. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know. I'm thinking about maybe live streaming tomorrow. I don't know. I might not post a video. I was thinking about just live streaming. Let me know if you guys would like me to live stream tomorrow or anything like that. Let me know what you thought about the numbers or anything like that, guys. Love to hear from you, and have a great day.